Morning, everyone, my fellow educators, and to you, our dearest professor, Doc Melissa Napil. Doc, good day. I am Akim Manundan, and it is my pleasure to discuss to you one of the philosophies of education. But before that, have you ever wondered why is there a need to adhere educational philosophy? Well, teachers are mentors and play an active and crucial role in inculcating independent thinking in our students. Thus, we must have a teaching philosophy of our own. Students always look up to us teachers, and therefore, it is necessary for us to have thoughts to inspire them. Today, I'm going to discuss to you the Montessori philosophy in the context of instruction, assessment, curriculum, and classroom management. Before I discuss to you all of these things, let me introduce to you the proponent of this philosophy, Dr. Maria Montessori, who was a researcher and educator, an Italian physician and anthropologist who had also different international trainings, nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1949 till 1951. These are just some of her accomplishments. Okay, so what is Montessori philosophy? It is a method of education for young children that seeks to develop natural interests and activities rather than the use of formal teaching methods. So Montessori has its belief and ways in the learning of children because unlike the formal teaching methods is most likely to have lectures, homework, and supervised classwork. It is based on self-directed activity, hands-on learning, and collaboratively play. Children make creative choices with their interest in learning. It is also designed to develop natural development of each children in a well-prepared environment. Now let's move on to the context of instruction. It is child-centered because the children are the priority in the learning process, their interests and needs. Children are active participants in their own development, influenced by natural, dynamic, self-correcting forces within themselves, opening the way toward growth and learning. Constructivist or self-discovery model rather than direct instruction. Children are given a chance to explore and discover things with their interest in specific learning areas rather than spoon-feeding of the knowledge. Mixed age classrooms. It is in order to develop their learning with and from peers. Enable children to teach and learn from each other. Student choice of activity from within a prescribed range of options. Now let's proceed to the context of assessment. It does not lend itself to traditional grading. Materials are specifically designed to foster the achievement of appropriate development milestones. Children are given specific design materials that would develop their interest in learning. Provide feedback to the child as to where they are at. There is also monitoring of child's level or stage of learning by having feedbacking. Learners take ownership of their own progress, like the daily work journal, weekly individual conferences with their teacher. It is non-competitive because every child has its own pace of learning. Eschews rewards and punishment. Children are encouraged to have or develop intrinsic motivation in order for the learning to happen. Activities are open-ended, encouraging explorations and creative thinking, and such do not lend themselves to grading. So there are ways to evaluate students' work. One is observing the child's contribution during a group or individual lesson. In this scenario, the teacher will be able to observe the capability of the learning stage of the child or the learner, observing whether the child goes on to utilize the concept presented. Observing the child using the materials to ascertain if he or she has understood the presentation. And after that, there is also discussion of the child's work. Next is the context of curriculum. The Montessori curriculum delivers both a blended curriculum that incorporates both Montessori education and early years learning framework. Offers children five key area study that I will be going to discuss to you later. And each learning area of study is made up of a set of educational materials that increase in complexity. Children's progress at their own pace based on their stage of development and interest. So now, here are the key curriculum areas of Montessori. One is the practical life, which incorporates exercises and activities that children observe in daily life. These activities develop children's independence, concentration, and fine motor skills. Typical practical life activities involving transferring, like food preparation and cleaning. Next is the sensorial. It teaches the children to refine their senses of sight, touch, sound, smell, and taste so that they are able to organize sensory impressions and their understanding of the world. Next is mathematics. In mathematics, it teaches children to understand abstract mathematical concepts and relationships through hands-on learning experiences. They will learn to count, identify, relate decimal quantities, symbols, and many more. Next is language. This curriculum provides children with the knowledge and skills to build their vocabulary and understanding of language. The skills required for reading, writing, and oral language are developed through hands-on experience. So the last one is the culture. This curriculum incorporates a wide range of subjects including geography, botany, zoology, science, history, music, and art. Through explorations of culture, children develop an understanding of their community, their world, and social responsibilities. They learn to respond to diversity with respect, appreciate music and art, and develop awareness of sustainability. So now let's proceed to the context of classroom management, where children are the center of their learning, or children are the center of their learning. So Montessori said that the teacher's task in Montessori classroom is not to talk, but to prepare and arrange a series of motives for cultural activity in a special environment made for the child. Teachers encourage children to learn by providing freedom for them to learn in the prepared environment. Observe children as to prepare the best possible environment, recognizing sensitive periods, and diverting inappropriate behavior to meaningful tasks. Prepare the learning environment of the learners by ensuring that learning materials are provided in an orderly format, and the materials provide for appropriate experiences in learning. Respect each child by modeling ongoing respect for all children and their work, and introduce learning materials by demonstrating learning materials and support children's learning. The teacher introduces learning materials after observing each child. So now, let me have my generalization through this video presentation. Please watch.
The Simple Show Foundation explains Montessori education. Meet Tom, Anna, and their daughter, Emma. Emma is excited for her very first day at school. Emma's big passion is astronomy. She's fascinated by stars and planets. Her biggest dream is to become an astronaut and see the stars from up close by flying to the moon. So Emma's parents look for a school that will encourage her passion and her interests. They find out about the educational concept of Maria Montessori. Her guiding principles were based on an internal construction plan in each human being and the associated changes over time. She believed in the hidden creative energies inside people and saw children as architects of their own minds. The concept begins with the upbringing of young children and ends during the teenage years. In each period of childhood, there are sensitive stages during which the child picks up on different stimuli in the environment and responds to them. It's the educator's job to support these stages by providing a prepared environment. The environment is centered on the needs of the children, such as Emma's passion for astronomy. So she receives a large amount of materials to learn more about mathematics, for example. The materials organization and aesthetics are key elements for encouraging holistic development according to the Montessori approach. The concept especially aims at helping the child achieve self-reliance and independence, so Emma is given plenty of time to think about the stars. This allows Emma to move at her own pace of learning as she focuses on a specific task. Emma's parents find the concept exciting, but wonder if there are any critical objections. There are. One criticism is that the construction plan of human development is too rigid, and some people disagree with downplaying social relationships by placing such a heavy emphasis on learning materials. Although Emma won't achieve her dream of landing on the moon through the Montessori concept alone, can it encourage her to follow that dream and even pursue her passion at school? Of course it can. But before she goes to the moon, Emma, like every astronaut, needs to go to the classroom, but which one?
So that ends my discussion. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy listening while learning something about Montessori philosophy. So these are the references that I used in my discussion. Thank you so much once again, and good day.